Today I wanted to do a couple things. I wanted to share a canvas that I made for my mother-in-law for the holidays, and then I also want to talk a little bit about some different types of Mod Podge and some favorite new ones that I've found that I've been using. So let me start out with the Mod Podge. Everyone is very familiar. There's so many different types now, but everyone I'm sure is very familiar with the matte and the gloss. Use them for lots of different things. But the one thing I want to say about the matte is the Mod Podge versus the Decoupage by Americana. I like the Mod Podge. I use it a lot. But the Decoupage from Americana, if I am doing a canvas, I definitely use the Americana versus the Mod Podge. And the reason for that is that I think the Decoupage, it's kind of hard to explain, but I think it leaves a more clear finish. I think sometimes the Mod Podge has just a tiny bit of a, not a fogginess, but it just doesn't seem to be as clear as the Americana. So this is definitely my go-to decoupage for doing canvases. But what I really wanted to share today were some of the newer Mod Podges. There's, like I said, there's so many out there. I'm going to talk a little bit about the Sparkle Mod Podge and the Satin Mod Podge, which I really like. And then this is the latest one that I've tried. It's the Super Gloss. And so let me show you really quick. This is the Sparkle Mod Podge. Just put a thin layer of it over a piece of burlap, and it really provides some very intense sparkle. My daughter has, she takes regular Mod Podge and adds glitter to it sometimes, and that works as well. But I would say the intensity of the sparkle in the one that you buy ready-made is just great. So she loves using that. She uses it on everything. Everything has to sparkle. Okay, so I've been making a lot of these little vintage tiles. I've had them in some of my other videos. And the ones on the right here are covered with the Satin Mod Podge, and then these two over here are covered with the Super Gloss. And I have to say I really, really like, and I don't know if you're going to be able to tell on video, I really like the Super Gloss. It does not provide as smooth of a texture as the glossy accents. However, it is so much easier to use than the glossy accents, and you can see it provides just a tiny bit. You can't feel it, but you can see a little bit of texture in it. But there's no bubbles. I really have trouble with bubbles in glossy accent when I use the glossy accents. And with this, there's no bubbles. And it gives it, especially if you're doing shabby chic or vintage type images, it gives it a little bit more of a vintage finish. So I absolutely love that. Highly recommend it. And that is the Super Gloss Mod Podge. And I found this one at Michael's. And then the Satin I really like as well. You can see the brush strokes in the Satin. I think they're showing up a little bit there on the camera. But again, I do like the satin look for, you know, when you're doing vintage items. And so that's that. I like them both, the Satin and the Super Gloss, but I definitely, these are the first two items I made with the Super Gloss, and I definitely will be using more of that. I use glossy accents for a ton of stuff, mainly as a super adhesive. But like I said, it's just, you know, sometimes I find it difficult to work with, and the Super Gloss was not difficult to work with at all. Okay.